Hi, I'm Melissa Fleming. My husband James and I formed the Austin Round Rock, Texas chapter of The Cure Starts Now. Shortly after our son Brock had battled DIPG for 7 months in 2016. And after that, we decided that it wasn't acceptable that treatments haven't changed in 60 years and that there's no cure, and we want to help fund research to change that. And so I'm really glad that you're here with us today, Dr. Hummel, because I want to talk about the DIPG Registry, and you are the local principal investigator of the DIPG DMG Registry at Cincinnati Children's. And so I know you've talked to Keith before about the registry and how the data that you're able to collect and all that information about the mutations really helps direct future trials and future strategies. You've also commented that we now have some proof that there are a few long-term survivors and what it really makes them unique and why is that. But we haven't talked as much about why it's important for families to get registered with recently diagnosed children and what those benefits are. Can you talk more to that?
Yeah, Melissa, one of the great things about the International DIPG DMG Registry is that you have centralized MRI readings, which can help sometimes with misdiagnoses. Because one of the things that we see in the registry is not everything that comes through is necessarily a DIPG or DMG. Most often they are, but you get access to centralized MRI readings. You also get access to a network of sort of the best hospitals out there for DIPG and DMG. You get free second opinions as well. And I want to give a nod or a shout out to Dr. Miriam Falauti, who's at Nationwide Children's right now. And, this is sort of she really sort of was the impetus for the registry, and with the help of the collaborative, really pushed this forward. And I just would really encourage people who are newly diagnosed to go to the website and click that button to enroll.
So what is the website? How would they enroll?
Yeah, so you would go you'd go to dipgregistry.org, and on that, when you pull that up, essentially the first thing that you pull up is a button that says, enroll here, I believe. I think it says how to enroll, and you click on that button, and it basically goes through the process. There are phone numbers, there are emails. We're also in the process at the registry of doing, making this a little bit more easier to do enrollment online. That's not quite yet. That's coming down the pike. But because right now we have to, it's not quite a fully automated process, but it's very easy. There's one number to call or one email to email. Hopefully down the road, we'll get a button that says click to enroll, and it takes you to an automated process on the website. But right now, we ask people to reach out and email or talk to people. And additionally, not only on that website do you have like the how to enroll button, but it's set up that you can also have a section for patients and families. It's also for physicians, and it has news and research. So that DIPGregistry.org site is sort of a comprehensive site for a lot of things for newly diagnosed families or families who are currently undergoing the battle and have already undergone radiation or anything like that. It's really a comprehensive site that talks about the causes of DIPG or some of the supposed causes that symptoms of diagnosis, treatment, the search for new treatments, and it's really broken down really well.
Well, I do remember even 4 years ago, it was a pretty easy process to register. And so when we're looking at the registry, there's really two aspects to it, and it's gathering the tissue, and how do you do that? So it can be a diagnosis when you get the biopsy, and that's what we did with Brock. I know a lot of times parents can get scared because of the risk. I think how we looked at it is like you had mentioned earlier, that it confirms his diagnosis, and we wanted to make sure he really did in fact have DIPG. The other aspect is that death, if you want to donate the tumor, and an autopsy. And us personally, we didn't do it. I was not in a mental state to be able to have that conversation, and I don't think I am even 4 years later. but I know a lot of parents who have, and I admire them. One dad said, you know, I promised my daughter I would get that out of her head, and it was going. And I get goosebumps because I just think that's wonderful. So how can the registry help parents make these decisions of what's involved? And, you know, it's a very personal decision that has to be right for them.
Yeah, it is. And I just want to say that is um, it's a, I also get chills when I talk about, when we talk about biopsy and giving, you know, giving data and also autopsy tissue as well, because that is, you know, the families and you guys have gone through this journey and made, you know, so many sacrifices, and then this is sort of that final part of that for those who choose to do autopsy, and it's not for everyone. And you know, as a physician who presents that opportunity to patients, it's hard on our part too, but yet we know that a lot of times that information can be critical to adding to the registry and adding to the data that's being gathered, because we're behind from a scientific standpoint. We're behind. We're not. It's not. You know, it's not like a leukemia where we can just draw some blood and get leukemia cells, like,
Right.
and have all that biology. We're a little bit behind in the scientific thing. So the again, the easiest way to, or the easiest, the best way to help families make this really, it's a difficult decision, is to talk to your physician, and then also you can also call the international DIPG DMG registry number, and we can connect you with other physicians who can help you talk through that process, what the tissue, what that process will look like, what that process will entail, and what could result from that process. So again, it's that same button of, you know, click here to enroll, or that number, that we can help talk through that, and then we can help coordinate things, usually if that is the choice that people go.
Great. That's great to know.